well. And the first episode is really about how they can reconcile what happened last year and whether they can continue to work with Jane and bring down the group that did this to all of them. Did this to Jane, even though Jane originally was the spearhead of this, this organization. So that's in a nutshell. But there's, what's exciting for us, I think, is we really wanted to create a second season that was rewarding for fans, obviously, but that had some points of entry for people that are maybe going to check out the show this year. We're at a new time slot. It's a lot earlier. A lot of people are like, I'd love to watch it. I get very sleepy around 9:30. So now we're right on.
We got your answer.
We got you. Wednesdays at 8.
Watch it live.
Come on over. So we know that there's going to be some new audience, and we want to make sure, without annoying our loyal viewers, that there's multiple points of entry for the show. So we're introducing some new characters, some new bad guys. There's a new team dynamic that obviously there has to be since she was arrested at the end of last season, and we're just really excited.
You said last year when we were here, when it was about to go on the air, you said that you wanted this to be non-stop. There was no slogan. This was going to go bang, bang, bang.
That's right.
And really, those last 2 episodes were just like, what and what and what? And so is that pace going to...
Yes.
That's going to continue?
I mean, we have an amazing group of writers that work on this show. Like, we're extraordinarily lucky to have them. And we start earlier than we start about a month and a half earlier than everyone else.
They get no hiatus.
We like to know what the last episode is going to be and work backwards so that we can have that pace and just burn through story in a way that's not reckless. Because a lot of shows, they burn through story and then you're like, oh no! Well, now what? We've painted ourselves into a corner. So, we have a very clear map of how the season's going to lay out. I think it's even more exciting than last season, just because we're able to start at such an elevated place.
And you know about the characters.
Exactly.
You know and hopefully love most of our characters. And it all comes from Martin and I and Greg Rindell being just huge fans of TV.
Yeah.
And the thing that I hate the most is when you're really invested in a show and in the characters, and then suddenly you're like, wait a minute, they are making this up as they go along. We don't ever want our audience to feel that way. We want them to be able to sort of buckle their seatbelt. It's a fast ride, but they can feel confident that they're on track, that the story has been laid out. And so I think that's a lot of the early work that gets done, is to make sure that you really have a beginning, middle, and end. And then we can parcel out that information. But there's so much story to tell. We get deeper into all of our characters' lives. Because Martin and I are also big fans of the original Law and Order, and with those moments where you actually learn something personal about Lenny and you just sort of lean in. So we've got some of that fun stuff too.
Yeah. You've done a really great job of fleshing out these characters and delving into their emotional lives, even though it's been last week, which I found, amazing.
Well, and I think what's great too, and I mean, Sarah said this earlier today, but the show is really evolving into an ensemble drama. You got to learn a lot about Patterson last year, and I think she really popped because we were able to give her the screen time, that character had. But this year, you're really going to, Rob and Audrey have an amazing storyline this year. Everyone's got something really spectacular because we have a very, very deep bench of amazing actors,
And Ukulele.
Yeah, Ukulele Roach, and
absolutely. And we barely got to tap into what he's capable of.
And
so
then,
we're really lucky and then the new actors are
as many of you know, Archie
amazing.
Punjabi is joining the show from The Good Wife, who's we're such huge Good Wife fans. We're so excited, just as fans, that she's on the show. Yeah, she's amazing.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
And she, as I said this earlier, but I never root against anyone else's success, truly, because it's so hard, and we should all just be supportive of one another in this business. But the one show that I was kind of is it maybe not getting picked up, was her show, because we just had her sights. She was the model for the character, and so the dream of
we had
getting
originally
her,
called the character Archie because we were like, well, we're never going to get her, so we might as well.
Yeah,
might as well call her Archie.
Just went very quickly watching to see if, and so we were so excited and lucky to
and she's
have her.
we're about 2 episodes into filming the new season, and she's just blowing everybody away. She's so good. We can't say a lot about the character. She works for the NSA, and she's going to play a major role in helping the team reconcile their very mixed emotions towards Jane and each other after the events of last season. What's really fun about the opening of the season is everyone knows everything. There's no secrets anymore. Everybody knows who Jane was, who Jane wasn't, and everybody knows what was happening last year. So we really, again, for new viewers, it's not like there's a kind of a crib built in because everyone's got to hear everything finally, and then we go from there. And it's really about, this season is about family in a lot of ways. It's about trust and choosing who you're going to be day to day. And so last year, we'll know right away in the first episode, you're going to learn Jane's real name. You're going to learn who she is, where she's really from. All of that stuff you get right away, and then we grow from there.
And there's
the tattoos.
They're still very important.
Yeah.
We're actually going to be using her tattoos.
The tattoos, I think we struck a good balance last year. The show is half procedural, half character drama, and so the tattoos still play an important role in the show and in the engine of how the show works. But it allowed, like for instance, the first episode, there are no real tattoo clues in the first episode, but then the second episode we're right back into it in, I think, a very organic way. So it allows the show to be different but not feel totally changed,
I think the tattoos are one of the most interesting and novel aspects of the show.
Yeah.
What kind of thought processing do you guys put in there with the writers, kind of designing those clues in the puzzle and involving the audience?
In the writer's room, there is life-size pictures of Jamie with all the tattoos.
Yeah. It's the only workplace where it's kind of okay to have naked pictures of your coworker up on the wall. But it's actually kind of necessary. Yeah. I like to build a warm, safe place. But there are tattoos obviously that have been on her body since the beginning that we know play an important role as the story unfolds. But I think what's great about we have such puzzle nerds on our show. We really get excited about that part. We work with David Kwong, our puzzle consultant from the New York Times and The World, and we really have a great even episode 5. There's just it's so thrown away, but there's a coding method that's it's 10 seconds of screen time. It took us 3.5 hours to figure out, but we're so proud of it. It's so cool and great. So I think it needs that stuff, regardless of the screen time it gets, needs to really work. It's the type of thing that if you're a puzzle person, you should be able to sit down and be oh yeah, no, I could do that. And we did a great thing with Entertainment Weekly last year where we would actually just release some of the tattoos and people could sit down and figure them out before the show aired. And that's a great part of the show, and we don't want to lose that.
And we have plenty of tattoos to sustain us for many years to come.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, guys. Have a great convention.
See you guys. Okay. Up to you. You want to do it together, separate?
I'd love a water.
I'm going to start this one later in a second.